You're outrageous! How dare you throw my husband out of the house on such a cold day?
What's all this all of a sudden?
Don't play dumb with me. I know it was you.
No, kick my father-in-law out? I have no idea what you're talking about.
It gave me a shock. I came back from a trip and my husband was at the front door, freezing. He couldn't get inside of his own house. If I had found him a little later, he might not even be alive right now.
No, wait. Did that really happen? I'm just glad my father-in-law is okay now.
Are you still playing dumb with me? Oh, I was a fool to trust you. You said, I'm sure you must be exhausted from taking care of your husband every day. Please go on a trip once in a while. I was so moved by how kind you were to me. You're not kind at all. You are a black-hearted woman. Leaving my husband alone all night in the snow. I'm gonna report you to the police.
Wait a minute.
What? I won't listen to your excuses.
I've been in the hospital since yesterday.
What?
You know I'm pregnant, and I've been on the verge of a premature labor. Up until now, I've been getting by on medication. Yesterday, my stomach started to cramp, so I rushed to the hospital. Then I was told I was in critical condition and needed to be hospitalized urgently.
Huh? That's what happened? Is the baby fine?
Yes, the baby is fine, but I have to be on absolute bed rest for a while.
Well, it's been a tough time for you too.
That's why I left my father-in-law in Skylar's hands. Skylar was off work yesterday and today. I thought it would be okay if I asked him to take care of Dad until you came back.
I didn't know.
So, you don't think Skylar did this, do you?
No, it can't be. My son had to go on an urgent business trip. I heard he's in Chicago right now.
Business trip? What's that? I didn't hear anything about it.
What? You don't know?
I haven't heard anything. I thought he was at home.
So you're saying my husband was home alone? Does that mean he went out in the cold on his own?
That's impossible. I can't imagine my father-in-law, who can't walk on his own, going outside the house by himself.
Well, there must be a reason why he went out on his own. I'll check when he wakes up. Maybe he's tired from being left alone for so long in the heavy snow. He's been asleep since last night.
I see.
I'm sorry I doubted you. I saw my husband shivering outside and I just got so mad.
No, it's okay. Skylar and I were supposed to be watching him together. I'm sorry it ended up like this.
It's not your fault. I'm just glad my husband is okay. I hope you get out of the hospital soon too.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're pregnant and it's a delicate time. I'm really sorry for saying such horrible things.
It's okay. I'll check with Skylar first to see where he is. I haven't heard anything about a business trip.
Let me know if you find out anything.
Okay, I'm gonna go now. Skylar, where are you now?
I'm in Chicago on a business trip.
I didn't hear anything about you going on a business trip. What are you thinking? How could you go on a business trip leaving your father all alone?
What?
I got a call from your mother. She said your father was alone outside the door last night. What were you thinking of? It was snowing heavily last night. I can't believe you left your father outside and went on a business trip on a day like that.
No, just calm down a minute.
How can I calm down? At first, your mother thought I kicked him out of the house. She got so angry. She said I was outrageous and that she would report me to the police. I explained the situation and the misunderstanding was cleared up, but...
Is Dad going to be okay?
Your mom came home from her trip and let him in right away. He's fine for now.
So, he's alive?
Don't say that like it's someone else's problem. He's your father. I told you, didn't I? I told you to take good care of him while I was in the hospital.
Damn it. She got me.
What?
Mom tricked me.
What? What do you mean?
You know, when Mom was on her vacation, I took paid vacation, right?
Yeah, I know.
But one of my colleagues got sick. I had to go to Chicago.
But that doesn't mean you should leave your father behind.
No, just listen until the end. So I called Mom. I told her I was sorry, but I needed her to come home right away.
Oh, so that's what happened. Your mother didn't tell me that.
I told my mom I had to go on a business trip, and you had something urgent come up. I asked her to come back from her trip right away.
Urgent? You didn't tell her I was in the hospital for preterm labor?
How could I tell her you were in the hospital?
Why not?
Because if I told her you were in the hospital when you were pregnant, she would have given you a hard time.
Is that so? I don't think so.
You know, Mom. What can I say? She's old-fashioned in her way of thinking, isn't she? Pregnancy isn't a disease, so don't be a baby. You never know what she'll say to you.
I don't think my mother-in-law is like that.
Rosemary, you don't know my mother's true nature yet. I've known her long enough to know. I see it all the time. The kind of person who doesn't tell you, but says it behind your back. My mom is like that. She's always been like that. I've never told you about it. I used to hear my mom bad-mouthing you all the time.
Is that so? I'm shocked.
So I hid the fact that you were in the hospital, and I called Mom. She most likely thought it was a lie about an emergency. She just probably decided not to come home.
I can't believe it. Your mother cares so much about your father.
No, it's the other way around.
Huh?
I think she left him alone on purpose.
What do you mean?
If something happens to Dad, we can blame you, right?
What?
She could have said that you lied about the emergency and left Dad alone. Maybe she was trying to get you kicked out of the house.
Do you think your mother would go that far?
That's what she would do. I think she just felt like he was in the way. They seemed to get along, but in her heart, she wished he'd go away sooner. And if anything should happen to my dad, she could brand you as an unfit caregiver and kick you out of the house. Yeah, what a cold-hearted person. That's the worst. I can't believe my own mother would do such a terrible thing.
I am still a little confused. I'm sorry I doubted you.
I'm sorry too. I mean, it's my mom who's at fault.
By the way, Skylar, when are you coming back from your business trip?
Looks like I won't be home for a while.
Oh,
I'll call you when I know when I'm coming back.
okay, I understand. Mom, is this a good time? I just need to check on something.
What?
Did you know that no one would be home except your husband? Did you intentionally not come home from your trip?
Huh?
Skylar told me. He said he clearly told you that I needed to leave on an urgent matter.
What? I didn't hear that.
Don't lie to me. You plan to leave your husband alone and involve the police to get rid of me, right?
Oh my God. What did you say? I would never do such a thing.
You pretended to be nice to me, but the truth is, you didn't want to be nice to me, did you?
Did Skylar tell you that?
I heard you were always bad-mouthing me when I wasn't around. I was disappointed when I found out what you really were.
If you found out, I guess it can't be helped. That's right. I hate you. I wish you'd leave my son as soon as possible.
But that doesn't mean you can do that. It's horrible that you put your husband in danger, don't you think?
Huh? I told you earlier. I didn't know you weren't home. My son didn't tell me.
I see. So my husband is lying?
That's right.
He left his father in need of care and just went ahead and went to Chicago. Is that right?
Oh my God. Even my own son is pathetic. Forgetting the debt of gratitude for raising him?
Why don't you tell the truth?
Huh?
My husband has an app for his job that automatically records all calls.
Oh, he does?
He says there's audio of his conversation with you. Do you still want to continue lying?
Phone calls? I don't remember. It must be age.
Mom, it's time to admit it.
Well, you'd better admit it. Right, Skylar? Why don't you join the conversation? Huh?
Since I set up a group chat for the three of us, you've been watching my conversations with your mother. It's obvious because I can see you've been reading it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand why you suddenly added me as a member. It sounded like you and Mom were having a fight. I just had a meeting with Rosemary. It was a bit spur of the moment, but I hope it went well. What? Was that an act? Oh, you really thought we were fighting?
Mom, you were very good.
What are you doing this for?
I wanted to see how you would react, but you just shut up and watched your wife and mother arguing.
You couldn't say anything because if you said anything, the truth would come out. What do you mean, the truth?
When you told me that your mother was actually trying to get rid of me, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. But I also wanted to believe you, my husband. I had a hard time deciding which one of you should I believe.
Of course you believe me, right? I'm your husband.
Well, so I decided to see if your business trip was real.
What?
Did you know that one of my seniors from my school days works at your company?
Oh, is that right?
We haven't seen each other much since we both started working, but I do have his contact information.
Really?
I asked him about it. He told me that no one has missed a business trip due to illness. Of course, your trip to Chicago was a lie. You've been hanging around anyway, haven't you?
Damn, you found out.
So, where are you now?
I'm at a motel near the mall.
Why are you at a motel?
I'm tired.
Huh?
While Mom was on vacation, you and I were going to take care of Dad, but you had to go to the hospital suddenly. I had to take care of him by myself. I'm not used to taking care of my dad. I just needed to be alone for a little while and let off steam.
Oh, really? But why did you try to make your mother the bad guy?
Well, I didn't want to get you in trouble, so I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I'm really sorry about that. And for leaving Dad alone. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. But I didn't expect him to go out on his own. Last night was the coldest of the winter, and it was snowing. He must be going senile. Skylar, isn't it about time you tell the truth? What? You underestimate him, don't you? What do you mean? He may be crippled, but he has a clear head. Oh. Well, you left him to me and Rosemary. You've never taken care of him. I guess you saw him sitting there and thought he wasn't thinking. But he's looking around, he's listening. And of course, he remembers what you did to him last night. Oh my God. Your father was appalled. He said you took advantage of Rosemary being in the hospital. You tried to bring a girl home to have an affair. And then your father got in the way, so you threw him outside in the snow. And then, afraid of being caught in the act later, You lied to me and told me you were going on a business trip. You left the house with your lover, leaving your father outside. You're still with her, aren't you? You're kidding. He told you all that? Your father was sad. He said he didn't raise you like that. But I didn't mean to do anything bad. I just wanted Dad to stay out for a little while.
Don't be silly. You didn't tell your mother that I was in the hospital. You didn't want her to come running back home, did you?
Rosemary.
I can't forgive you for cheating on me while I was pregnant. And I'll never forgive you for putting your father in danger.
I told you I was sorry. But don't you think it's wrong to blame only me? You're responsible for the affair too.
What?
Just because you were pregnant, you stopped being with me. I was lonely. And I was looking for comfort, and I ended up having an affair with another woman.
I'm so disappointed. Are you still the father of my baby?
I'm sorry, Rosemary. I'm responsible for raising my son to be such a low life.
Mom.
Skylar, I want you to leave our house. Huh? What are you talking about? Why do I have to leave my own parents' house? Because I don't consider you my son anymore. Your father feels the same way. Oh no. You can't just kick me out of the house all of a sudden. Oh, you have a girlfriend. Why don't you start a new family with her? No, that's not possible. Actually, she's married too. We've been seeing each other just for fun. I've no intention of remarrying.
I know.
What?
Your father told your mother everything. Every conversation between you and her.
What's that?
Let's get a divorce.
Divorce? Don't be hasty. I'm sorry I cheated on you. I'm also sorry for putting my dad out of the house. If you want, I can go home now and get down on my knees.
I don't want to see you get down on your knees like that. Instead, I'm going to charge you alimony and child support.
Wait a minute, Rosemary. Let's talk about it.
There's nothing to discuss with you. I've already decided I'm divorcing you.
You're going to have a baby. Can you raise a child by yourself? Besides, it would be terrible for a child not to have a father.
My mother-in-law will help me raise the child. You have nothing to worry about. It's better for the child, and he'll be better off without the scumbag father like you.
Damn it. Everybody's blaming me.
I'm going to be in the hospital for a while yet. We'll have to talk through a lawyer from now on.
Wait a minute. I don't agree. You're the only one who doesn't agree. You're the last person we need in our family. Now give up and go away. Mom, you're going to abandon me too? Will you stop calling me Mom? Well, you left my dear husband in the snow, and you betrayed your precious wife. You are really pathetic. I can't even shed a tear. You're not my son. Oh no, just stay on my side, even if it's just you.
Mom, I think it's time to end this conversation. I'm getting so frustrated dealing with this scumbag. I'm afraid it's going to be bad for the baby.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's just call it a night. Well...
Bye.
Wait a minute. Let's talk more about it. Hey, Rosemary, Mother, please forgive me.
Later, Skylar and I divorced. I demanded alimony and child support from Skylar in compensation from his lover. In addition, Skylar was also charged with compensation by the husband of the unfaithful partner. He ended up with debts. In the end, he and the cheating partner were separated. Her parents-in-law disowned her, and she was left completely alone. However, there was more hell awaiting Skylar. He was arrested for abandonment of a dependent. Although he received a suspended sentence, he was fired from his job. He tried to change jobs, but of course it didn't work out. Skylar now lives in a shabby apartment. He is desperately trying to pay off his debts by holding down part-time jobs. As for me, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy, and am living peacefully with my in-laws, myself, and our child. After the divorce, I wondered if I should return to my parents' house. However, my parents' home is far away, and I am on good terms with my mother-in-law, so I decided to stay at my parents-in-law's house. My father-in-law is also happy about the birth of his grandchild. Although my marriage did not work out, I met my wonderful parents-in-law, thanks to my ex-husband. I guess I should at least be grateful to him for that.